everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to root hair on your reborn dolls. For those who don't know, I am a reborn doll artist and I have been for a couple years now. So I'm working on this custom order reborn jewel and I decided to show you guys how I root my hair. So as you can see, the kit is fully painted and he's already sealed with a matte varnish and is ready to go for some hair. So some supplies that you're going to need include a water bottle with some water. This is going to be used to style the hair and just kind of get the hair out of the way if it's puffing up. You're also going to need a toothbrush. This is going to be used to brush the hair. You want something soft bristled so it doesn't scratch the paint. You're also going to need some scissors. These are like some cheap dollar store hair cutting scissors. I recommend these over like kitchen scissors or craft scissors. You're going to need your rooting needle. This is what's going to puncture the vinyl and set the hair in the vinyl. I use the Heavenly Illusions pink rooting needles. I can have these linked in the description below. I know a lot of artists use these and I really like them. You're also going to need something to create your hair map, so I'm showing you my Prismacolor pencil. I used to use chalk for a very long time, but found that it created a mess and my map pattern never really stayed. So I recently switched to using this Prismacolor pencil and I really recommend it. I just have the light brown shade and it works really well. You're also going to need your Mohair, of course. You can use any kind, but I prefer Irresistible's Mohair, and you can use more than one shade as well. I'll also have that linked in the description. So the last thing you're going to need is some sort of light if you have it. I have this lamp right here. You can adjust how much light you have and where the light is. So I'm just showing you guys that here, that it's bendable and you can adjust it. So having good lighting is also key to rooting well. So let's get started. So I like to start in the back of the head where the swirl is. You can create the swirl either clockwise or counterclockwise, but I prefer clockwise. And you just want to kind of look at the kit and get a feel for how you envision the hairline to be in the front and what it looks like, whether the hair is going to sweep to the left or to the right or go straight. Can also help determine how you create the swirl. So you're just going to start with this sort of hook shape and kind of go up on top of the head and then go to the back of the head. It's a little hard to explain, but you can kind of see what I'm doing here. And you're just going to create that little swirl shape. And you're going to go off of that and just extend the lines. Once you have the base of the swirl down, you're going to extend your lines onto the back of the head, sides of the head, and over top of the head. I recommend keeping your lines curved or swirly, nothing really straight and harsh because you want to create a soft, natural effect like a newborn baby's hair pattern. Here I'm just starting to outline the hairline, so I'm starting over the ears with a nice curved shape. I like to go higher up because you don't want to root too close to the ears. So I just extend that curve down to the front of the ears to create the sideburns. It's really up to you if you want them long or short. And over here you can see I'm kind of feathering my pencil to create a little temple hairline area. I don't really know how to describe this, but you'll see when I start rooting what I mean. This area is going to be a little bit thinner, so I'm just creating this like feathered line effect. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side as well. For the front hairline, I'm just creating a nice big curved shape, and this will go into a further back receded hairline along the temple area, as you can see right here. I recommend placing your hairline further back on the forehead rather than right up front, because when you cut the hair, if you cut it too short, it's not going to lay flat and look the way you want it to. Once you've completed the bigger main sections, you're going to go back in and create smaller subsections and then later fill those in with some more lines. You basically just want to create what your hair is going to look like in your hair map. This is going to make rooting a lot easier and give you a good guide to directionally root your hair. So this is what my finished hair map looks like, so let's get rooting. You're going to start by taking a small section of hair. This is a nice strand right here. And you're going to take your toothbrush and brush out any knots or tangles. It'll make your life a lot easier. And then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to trim off the top of the hair. This is where you're going to be rooting from, so you want it nice and flat and even. And then I like to take the scissors and cut my strand in half. You're going to save a lot of hair by doing this because it's unnecessarily long for a newborn. So as you can see here, I just have two sections now, and I'm going to place one to the side. I'm going to regather the hair that I'm working with and just again make sure the part that you're rooting from is flat, so I'm just trimming that up right now. So here I'm just trying to explain that you want to cut the top of the hair to make sure it is flat and even. So I always prefer to start rooting on the sides of the head. I don't know why, that's just my preference. So you're going to firmly hold the little section of hair and you're going to take your rooting needle and just push the hair into the vinyl. I'm only pulling from the top of the strand and I'm pushing deep into the vinyl. You want to make sure that you are holding the needle angled so you're not going up and down, you're kind of laying flat with the needle and you're always going straight in and out of the vinyl. You don't want to bend your needle because then you're going to break it. So as you can see here, I'm just showing you this is the way I like my rooting needle to point. I always find that I get better rooting when the top of my needle is pointing to the right. Maybe it's just me, I don't know, but here you can see I'm just rooting and I try to pick 1 or 2 hairs from the top of my section and that's what I root in. You don't want to be rooting in a bunch of hairs into one hole because it's just going to look very plugged and it's not going to look realistic at all. Here I'm creating the hairline on the temple, which is coming kind of out onto the temple. This is what I was talking about when we were mapping. I need the hair to kind of fall back into the hair and lay flat, so I am pushing my needle towards the forehead, and this is called directionally rooting. So basically, whichever way you root the hair is how it's going to lay permanently, no matter how you brush the hair. So as you can see now, I'm turning the head and I'm rooting along my hair map. Basically, the best advice I can give is when you are rooting, your needle is basically looking the same exact way that the lines are drawn. So if the line is going left, you're rooting the needle left. If that makes sense, I don't know. Just watch and you'll understand, hopefully. Again, as you can see, I turn the head slightly so that way I can directionally root the hair so it can lay flat. I'm just going to continue rooting, so just watch and enjoy. Another thing to keep in mind is the spacing between the hair. This will determine how thin or thick the hair is perceived. The further apart the hair is spaced, the thinner the hair will look, and the closer together the hair is spaced, the fuller the hair will look. Another thing is how long you decide to cut the hair will also play an effect. So I worked on it quite a bit, as you can see, and you can see here I'm rooting a little bit faster than what I was in the beginning. Rooting to me is all about practice and patience. It takes time to get better at it, so just keep practicing and eventually you'll be able to root like it's nothing, although it does take time to root a full head of hair. I would also like to apologize for my camera constantly going in and out of focus. It keeps trying to focus on my ring and then focus on the head, so my apologies. So once you have a decently sized section rooted, we're just going to brush it out and make sure there's no knots and tangles and move on to cutting it. So we're going to mist the hair down. You want it damp but not soaking wet. And we're going to brush the hair in the direction that it's rooted, and you want to be very careful because it's not sealed yet, so it can easily be pulled out. I've also found that cutting it along the way makes it a lot easier than cutting it all at the end. So once it's all brushed flat, I like to take vertical sections and brush everything up to start cutting. I like to work in small sections, so I'm sectioning out the little sideburn area, and I'm just kind of working on this small top section. So I'm brushing from the root to the ends, and I'm just making sure everything is straight. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this shorter, leaving it a little longer than I plan to because You can always take more off, but you can't add it back. So once I do that, then I just go in and cut it horizontally by point cutting, and you just kind of want to cut it in all angles and directions and just kind of brush it out and see how you like it. This is more so something that you just kind of have to work with what you got and figure out what looks best. So once it's all cut, I'm just going to mist the hair down again, and we're going to brush it out one final time and style it the way we would like it. So again, make sure to brush it in the direction that it's rooted so it lays flat and it looks all pretty. So I'm just going to brush it how I want it to set. Once I have the hair styled to my liking, I just let it sit and dry, and it will dry in the way it was styled when wet. As you can see, it's looking very nice and natural, and I'm really liking how it's turning out. So yeah, so that's how you guys root your doll heads. This is very simple and basic as I could make it. I know I'm not the best at explaining things, but there's a close-up on how it looks, all rooted and wet. And yeah, so I'm going to show you guys the unrooted side in 1 second, so you can really see a difference. But that's it for the video, guys. I hope you like it, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!